Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from Skiessentials.com.
I'm Bob. How's it going?
Bob is skiing on what is actually my personal pair of K2 Disruption Ti2s. We got really fast, firm groomers today. Perfect kind of day for a Disruption Ti2.
Yeah, you could go firmer.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's almost on too much of the packed powder side.
Sure.
But I'm not complaining.
Yeah, Bob, what do you think? First impressions. That was your first run on them.
Yeah, underfoot, you can really feel that extra metal. That's kind of what sets these apart from the other Disruption skis.
Yeah.
So about as solid and stable as it gets underfoot from anything I've been on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a full-on race ski, but with a counterculture K2 attitude.
Yeah, it's like a race ski, but not a race ski.
Yeah.
I don't know how best.
It's like it's a really hard thing to describe, but yeah, it's as much of a race ski as I personally would ever want.
Yeah, the thing totally rips.
Absolutely. So we're gonna finish off this run. We'll catch you back in the studio, talk more about this ski. We'll explain why this ski is green, which is a little different than the normal Disruption Ti2. So we'll catch you back in the studio in a little bit. Hey skiers, here we are back in the studio. Another fun morning out there today, huh, Bob?
Totally fun. I mean, we did a bunch of different stuff this morning, and this was one of the highlights for me.
Yeah, so we were testing some other skis this morning, and then we snuck Bob onto this Disruption Ti2 for a little bit. First time you ever skied it?
Yep.
Pretty awesome ski.
Yeah, I've been on all the other Disruptions. This was my first time on this guy here, and definitely had a very positive experience. One of the nice things about this spot, too, is this ski is still wet from having skied it this morning.
Yeah.
So like, we're able to really get kind of that firsthand knowledge of, all right, I just skied it and now we can talk about it, which is just a nice benefit of, living and skiing in Stowe and working here. So, just wanted to point that out, that these are fresh, fresh reviews on these skis. So now that it's fresh in my mind, just a really strong, smooth, powerful ski. And we just don't really cover this, low 70s, low to mid 70s underfoot range a whole lot.
Yep.
But for where we are and what we ski a lot, this has a lot of potential and applications. And this is your pair. Thanks for the loaner.
Take him back now.
But really, just the longer turn radius allows you to really dictate where you're going and with what magnitude.
Yep.
And I think that's one of the biggest parts of this is you can ski them on flats, you can kind of push them through turns, you can let it rip, you can really go straight, you can take an attacking line on the fall line, which is really fun. You don't get that with a lot of the shorter radius, carving skis.
Yep.
Even like those race skis that are subdued a little bit, that are more, a resort carving ski.
Yeah, thinking back to, 3 weeks ago when we took out the Thunderbird R15 wide body that you were skiing, and then I was skiing these. Like, compared to a ski like that, there's some noticeable differences.
Yeah.
And we can talk more about that towards the end of the video. But.
Yeah, but we have these really nice long runs here, and you can totally just use the contours of the trail, the natural features to make a fun, playful, race-like run.
Yep.
And that was my favorite part.
Yep.
But other than that, from here to here, it doesn't get more stable in anything that I've been on.
Yeah, no, they're awesome. And I suppose before we get too ahead of ourselves, this is the 2022 Disruption Ti2. It was a new ski for this season. Last time we did a full-length Disruption review, I think was either the 82 Ti or the MTI.
Yep.
So the MTI previously was kind of the flagship top-of-the-line model. And then for this season, they brought this Ti2 in, and we'll talk about the differences in a second. That's the actual graphic, which is carrying over to 2023 as well. Same ski, same graphic. everything carries over, which is why we branded this one or titled it 2023.
Yep.
But really, you can apply it to the 2022 ski as well. Like Bob said, this is my personal pair. The reason it's green is this was a limited edition ARC build. So basically, this pair was hand-built in their Seattle development factory. And
It has the
I
date on it.
I just noticed it this morning. Yeah, it was built. It was built 3 days before I turned 35.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's a good birthday
like
present.
they built it on my birthday almost, and I have pair 37 out of 50, which is pretty darn cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's easily become one of my most prized possessions, at least with skis. I think when I handed it to you yesterday, I was like, please take care of this. It's the only ski I care about, which there's some truth to that, a little bit of an exaggeration too. But yeah, the ski's awesome. So basically what they did, if you've watched the MTI review, if you've watched really any of the Disruption reviews, you're familiar with a lot of this technology. This ski has twice as much metal as the MTI. And K2 was kind of vague about the details. And in talking to Jed Yeiser, their engineer, the guy who actually physically built these skis, he like hinted at the fact that there was like 3 or 4 sheets of metal in it with different applications. There's definitely the I-beam still. In fact, I think we get dual I-beam, hence the Ti2.
Yep.
But kind of my takeaway from that, and I put this in the written article too, is sometimes it's really nice to know like the exact amount of each material in a ski. When Jed Yeiser just tells me that there's a lot of metal in it, I kind of take that at his word, and I'm just like, okay,
all right,
that's gonna be plenty. But we still get dark matter damping up here, so we get that polymer that's kind of sitting in between two sheets of carbon fiber, and then we also get this power wall, sidewall. Another difference between this ski, I mean, yeah, looking underfoot, you can just see those 2 sheets.
Yeah, they're very thick.
2 I-beam sheets of metal. It's just, there's a lot of metal going on in there. Anyways, what I was going to say is, differing again from the MTI as well as every other Disruption ski, we get this marker piston plate and a X-Comp 16 binding.
Which is cool because that's how it's sold. That's not just your pair. If you bought this pair.
Yeah, and that's a $1,200 ski.
Right.
Which is only a $300 bump up from the MTI. And we were kind of talking about it before we started filming. Twice as much metal, a World Cup piston plate, and this X-Comp 16, easily justifiable for $300.
Yeah.
In fact, that is a pretty good value. I think this was like $1,700.
And the performance too. You know, it's
totally.
We talk about performance, you know, relating to value a lot.
Totally.
And this is one of those ones that sticks out as, yeah, you're over $1,000, but you're getting a ski, a plate, and a binding.
Yep. Yeah. So I've really developed a strong fondness for this ski. Mm-hmm. It is unrelentingly powerful in a good way.
Yep.
You know, it is so strong. You can push it and push it and push it and push it. But like you have been saying, and like I kind of hinted to in the written article, there's like a touch of like counterculture attitude, or kind of like, I don't even know if it's forgiveness, but there's something about this ski that's different than most race skis.
Yeah, in that I think it's not a race ski.
Right.
You know, it's a race-like ski.
Right.
You can use it in a race course, sure, but it's not built or modeled after any other type of ski like we see in a Blizzard, you know, Firebird WRC.
They take their World Cup ski and just basically like tweak it and give it a shorter turn radius, where this was developed from the ground up for a specific reason, and that reason is not World Cup ski racing. Yeah. K2 doesn't have any World Cup race skis.
Right.
Like, this is it. And they built this for people like me and people like you, who were like, we're not World Cup ski racers, we're just skiers, but we still like to benefit from the stuff that this can provide you.
Yeah, you know, and we've talked about a few things. You know, the longer turn radius sticks out to me. You have the 182 there. Yep. 22.3 meters.
Yep. Pretty sure that's spot on.
You know, so when we were on like a 182 in the Thunderbird
with 15.
Yeah, 15 or I think 16 in the 182, but
17.
It's a noticeable difference.
Yeah.
You know, you can tip it and it'll go, but it doesn't pull you into the turn like the Thunderbird or a shorter radius ski will. So it really puts more, emphasis on you, the skier, to dictate where you're going to put the thing.
Right.
And I kept feeling on that, skiing this thing, that this I-beam, which is this narrow portion of metal in through the forebody here, really functions as an arrow.
Yes.
It's a very javelin style.
Point it where you want it to go.
Point it where you want it to go, and it can make those shorter turns. You do have to have that input.
Yeah.
It is not a light ski.
No.
But it does go where you want it to go. So you do have to have the input, but I really like the feeling of this metal in the middle of the ski, leaving those edges, aspen wood core, so it's still neither the stiffest nor the densest,
right,
but it's still very strong.
Right.
It just doesn't have that like multiple sheets of metal like you feel in the middle or underfoot. So there is that ability. It feel even at 71 underfoot, it feels like almost a narrower ski.
Yeah, it does. I kept thinking it was 68.
Yeah.
Even when I started writing the review just now, I think I wrote 68, and I was like, I'm actually not sure if that's true.
That's a small difference.
And then went and looked at the ski, and it's 71. But yeah, it feels, it's so precise, so quick edge to edge that it can feel like a narrower ski.
Yeah.
I think this is the type of thing, when we did the Thunderbird R15 wide body review, I think we said something like everybody should own a ski like this. Mm-hmm. I feel like this is kind of outside that realm, where like, probably not everybody should own a ski like this, because I would say, I don't know where to make the cutoff. Somewhere in between intermediate and advanced, I would say if you skied this, you could get kind of bucked around a little bit.
I think you would have to value the stability. If you're not, an expert skier with a strong desire to turn this ski, you definitely would have to at least think that you want a lot of stability in your ski.
Yeah, like be up for it.
Yeah, that person exists.
Right.
I don't think that's
definitely
the majority.
Yeah.
I definitely think that this person is that expert skier that wants to be a part of the ski and not just be along for the ride. You definitely have to put the input in, but you get the performance out, and that's what's, this will meet you where you are. Yeah. And if you're lazy and back, it's it's going to let you know.
Yeah. And I'm glad you said that, because maybe that's my favorite thing about it, is that it'll meet you where you are. Yeah. For a certain level skier, it'll adhere to how you can ski it. Yep. It's not as punishing as some. I do think that it's not like the most user-friendly, forgiving ski in the world. I think that's totally fair to say. Mm-hmm. But it's not as punishing as some. And for me, like, I don't have a ski racing background. Bob doesn't have a ski racing background. The older I get, the more I value, like, working on basically ski racing. Yeah. Like, see how good I can get a ski to carve. I still have a long way to go on this ski. I still have plenty of room as a skier, as a personal skier. I have plenty of room to grow, and this ski I will get it to do more and more cool things, basically shorter and shorter turns. But at my current ability level, it works great for me, and it doesn't. So I like that concept that it'll meet you where you are. Yeah, I don't see anyone topping this thing out. I think like somebody might. I don't know. I think if you grabbed somebody straight off the World Cup circuit, and made them ski it right after their completely vertical sidewall, full-on race ski, that's the person that would be like, that ski's not as fast. Yeah. Like, I'm losing 2 to 3 seconds in my race time. But again, World Cup skiers. Yeah. So you kind of have to, take that with a grain of salt. Like, all the consumer GS skis are great, but maybe it'd be better for some people to get something with a little more supple feel, a little bit more forgiveness to it. No, I think we nailed the application with skiing top to bottom runs here at Stowe. Like, you want 2,000 vertical feet, you want trails with different terrain. Yeah. Sure, it's fun to ski on a nice clean sheet. Yep. But, we get a lot of kind of different pitches, lefts and rights in the trails, and I think that being able to ski with the terrain, that top to bottom run is really where this thing
comes to life, and I think that's its high point.
Yep. So that's it. That's the Disruption Ti2 from K2.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Fantastic ski. You know, when K2 was entering this category with the Disruptions, it was really cool to kind of see their take on what a frontside ski should be. And I think we skied the MTI, and we were like, yeah, like this is great.
Yep.
Like this, like really, you know, kind of like compares pretty well to a lot of skis out there. This is a whole nother level that like really can compare to like a Deacon Master 72 or something like that. It's in the same exact conversation. It's just got K2's unique take on it. I did our Ski Bum Race League 2 years ago on the Disruption MTI. I'm going to do it this year on these things.
We'll see how that time goes.
We'll see what happens with the times. I think maybe that would be a fun thing to let you guys know. You know, I don't think we'll do a full video on like what my Ski Bum race times were, MTI versus Ti2.
No, but it'll be in our minds.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
And it'll be interesting to see if I can push myself as a skier further on this than I could on the MTI.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, the race course versus just trail skiing, I think.
Yeah, and we did have a race already. I did not use these because the snow was really soft. But I venture a guess that I'm going to shave some seconds off my Ski Bum time.
Seconds, huh?
Coming for you, Ryan Daniel. So anyways, this is a great ski.
Yep.
I love it. I don't own anything else like this. This is the only ski in my personal quiver that's less than 90 now.
Oh,
less than 90 underfoot. So I don't own a lot of these things, but when I find something that I really like, I'm going to hold on to it and keep it.
Yep.
It just so happened that K2 decided to put my name on this pair, and just so happens that I really, really like it.
Yeah.
So that's it. Let us know if you have any questions, as usual, and we will see you guys out there on the hill.
Bye.